Now, as America reports on an Ivy League university holding separate graduation ceremonies for different students, dividing them into groups based on things like the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, even how much money they have in their family. Weighing in on all of this is Saurabh Sharma. He's the president of American Moment, an organization dedicated to identifying and educating conservative students. Saurabh, let's just put up on the screen these various commencement ceremonies that Columbia is planning, in addition to one that involves the entire school. Native graduation, then there's a lavender graduation for LGBT, QIA, Asian, FLI for first generation low income, Latinx, which we should point out is a made up word, and a black commencement. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think that all of the calls for unity that we've heard over the last few months from prominent Democrats and liberal elites have clearly been false. I mean, what they're trying to do here is to balkanize people along ethnic, gender, racial, and all sorts of other lines. And you know what's really troubling to me about this is that this isn't some obscure school. This is Columbia University, a school that regularly pumps out congressmen, senators, U.S. presidents, and even Supreme Court justices. The idea that the future leaders of this country are being mired in this kind of ethnic bigotry on a regular basis is really troubling.
Now, Columbia University has, Saurabh, been tweeting about this today based on the original stories that came out, saying, quote, in most instances, these celebrations evolved from ceremonies originally created by students and alumni. They are open to every student, they are voluntary, and they have become a highly anticipated and valuable part of the Columbia graduation experience. Your response to what Columbia said?
Well, I think that that's just an intermediate step. We know how these things go. First, it's you ask permission in order to do it, and then suddenly it's institutionally supported, as it is in this case, and then one day it becomes mandatory. That is the trajectory that the institutional left uses to capture any institution in American life. In this case, it's universities. In other cases, it's the military, corporate America, K-12 education, and so on. So I would still be very concerned, even though these things are optional, because what it's creating is a culture at Columbia University where people primarily see themselves not as an educational cohort, not as the future leaders of America, not as scholars, but as primarily the race and gender they identify with.
We'll see if they continue to do this. Saurabh Sharma, good to have you on. Appreciate you coming on.
Interesting story there. Next